What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. AROD Locks here. We're going to be doing in this video a little bit different than my typical videos where I do like one game at a time. Like the video I put out for a couple days ago for tonight's game, Penn State, Notre Dame. That's just covering that game. I also did one for Texas, Ohio State. As you guys can see, tomorrow night, hook 'em horns, go Texas. This video, we're going to be doing all the AFC playoff games, and then I'll do another one for all the NFC playoff games. It's just a lot of games this weekend. I want to cover all of them. Typically how I do this, guys, I'm going to be doing it the same on this video. We're going to go over the main lines, where the public bets are coming in, where the public money is coming in, and we're going to talk about, like I said, all three AFC playoff games. We'll do all the main lines first. At the end, I got player props for you guys in all three of these games, so stick around for the player props at the end. We did hit the player prop slip that I put on the video for the Penn State Notre Dame game. That game just ended. It was a hell of a game. We had Riley Leonard over half a touchdown. He threw for one, and Drew Aller under 1.5 passing touchdowns. He didn't throw any, so cashed out on that one, doubled our money. Let's get right to it, though. Chargers-Texans, first one we got pulled up here. Chargers 11-6, Texans 10-7. Texans have been worse than they were last year, just to put it frank, but they're still quietly good. They still won 10 games, and so a lot of people had high expectations because of the year they had last year, but let's not get too crazy with it. They had a lot of injuries they had to deal with, and they didn't really make any huge additions in the offseason. Stephon Diggs, that was a big addition, but then he went and got hurt pretty quickly. He is at the tail end of his career. He's not the player he was when he was in Minnesota or early Buffalo days, so they're still a good team, but I think people were expecting too much of them. 10 wins is a good season. Then we get the Chargers, 11-6. They've flipped it around. We knew that was going to happen. Jim Harbaugh coming in. That dude just wins everywhere he goes. He's established the run game. He's taking a lot of pressure off of Justin Herbert, and they're playing damn good football right now. Let's look at the lines. Opened up at -3, and it's still at -3. 1 cent difference here. It was at -104. Now it's at -103 odds for the Chargers. And then on the Texans, +3 is where it opened, +3 is where it's at. -118 odds to start. Now it's at -117 odds. Where the public's going with it, we got 70% of public bets on the Chargers. 71% of public money is on the Chargers. So a lot more coming in on the Chargers. We got a 70-30 split basically on the money here. It's 71-29, essentially 70-30, right? And then the line isn't moving at all. So not much line movement. No, definitely not any inverse line movement here. You would think maybe that this would bump a half a point towards the Chargers with the 70-30 split, but it's really when that money starts creeping into the 80s is when they're going to start moving that line. Just from what I've seen in trends and history, from what I've seen in researching and studying bets for a long time. Now, let's look at the money line. Opened up at -156 for LA. Now it's -157 for Houston. +132 is where it opened, and it's where it stays. So money line's not moving either. Barely budging a cent for the Chargers. Actually in favor of the Chargers. And then looking at the money, the public bets here, 72% of public bets coming in on the Chargers. 80% of money on the Chargers just to win this thing outright. Now, this right here is showing money line as a B bet on Sportsline. I agree with that, actually. I know the line is not moving, so it's not like we have any inverse line movement on the money line either. But looking at this, 80% of the money is on the Chargers, and the line does not budge more than 1 cent. So that tells me that there are still some sharp bettors taking the Texans. Now, we may all think we know everything about a certain sport, whether you're a baseball guy, hockey guy, football guy, whatever your specialty is, the sport you know most, you may think you know everything. Trust me, it's hard to swallow the gut-wrenching taste that you don't. All right, let's put our egos aside. Yes, I know a ton about football. I played football through college. I coach football. I can tell you X's and O's left and right. We can talk football and scheme all day long, coverages, fronts, whatever it may be. I don't know as much as these sharp bettors because they study trends, analytics, numbers, the game itself. They have insider information. Like, those dudes are sharp for a reason. Trust the sharp bettors. Not always, right? They're not always right. Otherwise, they'd be stupid rich and books wouldn't take their bets anymore. But when this line's not moving with 80% of the money on the Chargers, that tells me there's at least some sharp bettors taking the Texans. I'm agreeing with this here. That is about a B grade bet to take the Texans on the money line. Now, watch my video on Instagram. There's a link in the description down below. It'll talk about hedging bets. This might be one of those things, one of those plays where you can hedge your bet. I did that today. Penn State was up 10 points. I took Penn State on the money line. They went up 10 points. The odds for Notre Dame to win went to plus 350. I hedged that bet, came out with a guaranteed profit. I got a video on Instagram, teaches you exactly how to do that. It's recent too. I posted it like 3 days ago. Now looking at the over-under, we got opened up at 44.5 points. The over 42.5 points is where it sits now. Minus 110 odds either way. It's opened up at minus 115 on the over, minus 105 on the under. So the books were initially saying that it's likely to go over 44.5, more likely to go over there than it is to go under. But that line came down some, even with those odds on the initial line. Looking at the bets here, 81% of public on the over, 84% of money on the over. That's typical with the public. They like the over. But the line came down to 2 whole points. So maybe take that under. I don't know if you want to take it at 42.5. If you want to move it back up to 44.5 and play the original line, that would probably be the smart play. Move that up, take the under on the 44.5. I will probably be doing that bet. We'll see. If you're in the VIPs, you'll get that bet whenever I send it out. I'm not positive what I'm going to do, but that's what I'm liking right now looking at it. There's your Chargers-Texans plays, guys. Let's go to Baltimore and Pittsburgh. See what we got going on in this game. Sorry, before I get into that. Pittsburgh's 10-7, Baltimore's 12-5. In my humble opinion, Baltimore is a much better football team. Pittsburgh is well coached, so they're always in the conversation. Tomlin gets them in the playoffs every damn year. So don't doubt Pittsburgh. Don't count them out completely, but they're quarterbacked by Russell Wilson, and he's just not the same player he used to be. Let's look at the lines. Opened up plus 9.5 for Pittsburgh. It's still at plus 9.5. Obviously on the other side, Baltimore minus 9.5. That's where it stays. Odds did not change for Pittsburgh's side. Odds changed slightly for Baltimore's side. Minus 114 down to minus 112. So slightly in favor of Pittsburgh there, you can say. And then looking at the money here, guys. 43% of bets on Pittsburgh. 57% of bets on Baltimore to cover this spread. 53% of money on Pittsburgh, 47% of money on Baltimore. This one's pretty close to 50-50 on this spread. 9.5 is a huge spread in the NFL, no matter what week it is. This is the playoffs. 9.5 point spread in the playoffs. That is almost unheard of. I'm not saying take the Steelers, but something to look at. Maybe throw that one in a teaser. Get that spread a little bit larger in favor of the Steelers just because of this 2 cents right here moving slightly towards the Steelers. I think some sharps like the Steelers. Just my 2 cents there. So if you can either alt that or throw it in a teaser so that you're not getting stupid odds like minus 200 to win that bet, definitely take a look at that spread at least. Look at it. Research it more by yourself, study it a little bit more. This is me just giving you guys the information on where the lines have moved and where the bets are coming in. Looking at the money line, opened up plus 360 for Pittsburgh. Now it's plus 394. Getting longer for Pittsburgh. Opened up at minus 469 for Baltimore. Now it's 526. Shorter odds for Baltimore after the line movement there. Looking at where the money's coming in. 90% of bets on the Ravens, 75% of money on the Ravens. This line is moving exactly how I would expect it to move. All those bets, all that money coming in on the Ravens, it should be moving in favor of the Ravens. If Pittsburgh wins this game, I will be shocked. But you're not going to get a good payout taking Baltimore minus 526. You're just not. You got to bet $526 to win 100. It's just not good odds to actually profit there, unless you're throwing that in some type of parlay. If you like parlays and you're that kind of better, by all means, throw this Baltimore win in there. It should be an easy win. Should be. You never know, though. This is the NFL. Looking at the over-under. Opened up at 43.5. Stays at 43.5. Odds did not change. Minus 110 all the way through. 76% of public bets are on the over. 59% of the money's on the over. Like I said, public loves the over, guys. This one has not moved. More money coming on the over. Take your pick at this one. I'm going to stay away from this over-under. Just not something I like. Looking at the line movement, looking at the money here. Not something that I'm going to go with, but there's your information. Then we got Broncos and Bills. Let's see what we got going here. Broncos 10-7. Shocked everybody, right? They've been in the dumpster for the last 8 years. Since they won Super Bowl 50, they have not made the playoffs. Well, they're back. They won 10 games. And they had a lot of close games this year. They could have won some more games. So the Broncos are more for real than people are giving them props for, if you will. But they're running into a buzzsaw. Baltimore 13-4. In my humble opinion, again, I think Baltimore right now is the best team in the AFC. Right now. Obviously, the Chiefs have the record to prove that they're the best team, but I think Buffalo can be that team to take them out. But they got to get past Denver first. Let's look at the spread. Plus 8.5 is what it opened at. Plus 8.5 is where it stays. Not a lot of line movement in these playoff games, guys. Minus 8.5 for Buffalo. Odds changed by a cent. Minus 109 for Denver. Now it's minus 110 for Denver. Minus 111 for Buffalo. Now it's minus 110 for Buffalo. So either way, 110 odds if you take Denver or Buffalo right now. 61% of money on Buffalo. Sorry, public bets on Buffalo. 51% of money on Buffalo. So money's about 50-50. Again, I said 9.5 is a big spread for the playoffs. So is 8.5. 8.5 is a pretty big spread for the playoffs in the NFL. Now, this is college. That's different. College has bigger spreads. There's a bigger talent gap between like an SEC team and, let's say, an ACC team, or an ACC team and Mountain West. This is the NFL. They're all cream of the crop, top-notch athletes. It's just a matter of getting those elite athletes on your team and the coaching to go with it. 8.5, I think, is a big spread. I don't know if I'm going to go on that one, if I'm going to play the spread or not. I'm still going to look at it. We still got 3 days before these games, guys. We still got a little bit to go before we actually see where these lines close at. Opened up on the now let's go to the money line. Sorry, opened up plus 325 for Denver. Now it's plus 353 for Denver. Going away from Denver. Okay, opened up at minus 400 for Buffalo, minus 461 for Buffalo. Moving shorter odds for Buffalo to win this game. Looking at money and bets. 92% of public bets on Buffalo. 81% of the money is on Buffalo. Lines moving in favor of Buffalo, as it should, with this amount of money and bets coming in on Buffalo. Typical line movement there. Nothing telling us that there's any discrepancies in where the public's going versus where the sharps are going. Take that for what it's worth. Obviously, Denver's a big payout. Buffalo's not. I'm probably going to avoid this money line unless I'm going to parlay it or something like that, which if you guys follow my channel, if you're a VIP, you know I don't do a ton of straight parlays. If I'm going to do a parlay, it's a teaser that I really like to put together to get us a profit. Now let's look at the over-under here. You got opened up at 47 points. Now it's at 47.5, so it went up by half a point. Minus 110 odds still all the way through. Looking at public percentages here, we got 83% of public bets on the over, 92% of public money on the over. Again, public is on the over. This time it's extremely heavy, though. Public is way heavy on the over. Line did bump up by half a point. This is one that I'm going to look at alt spreads or alt lines. I mean, I'm not going to take a crazy bet. Like I don't like to just go out and bet minus 300 bets. That's not you can't really win much money off of that. Now, you can profit very, very slowly and grow your bankroll very slowly, but a minus 300 bet can still lose, right? So the way I like to handicap, guys, is I like to give like minus 170 plays, minus 150 plays, minus 140 plays. If I love a bet, I'm going to go with that plus odds bet, but I got to love it, right? Like last week, I gave out that super smash lock, took Notre Dame money line over Georgia. Line movement showed perfectly what I like to see with where the sharps are at, where the line's moving, where the public was at. Notre Dame money line all the way, gave that out, plus odds, bam, we hit it. I'm not going to just bet a plus odds bet to try to win a long shot, or I'm not going to bet minus 300 bet if it's stupid, because it's not going to win me any money, and you can still lose the minus 300 bet. So I'm going to look at alts here, but I'm not guaranteeing that I'm going to take one of those. Again, if you're in the VIPs, you'll get that pick sent to you if I decide to do anything on that over-under. While I'm talking about that, before I move into the player props, guys, link in the description down here. It says free and VIP picks right there. You can click that link. You get half off a full year pass of all my picks. Promo code 2025, that gets you that 50% off when you click that link. Like I said, promo code 2025, 2025, that's the year. For the full year pass, gets you 50% off of every single pick I put out. That's every pick. Football, NFL, college football. When football's done, we got NBA, hockey, baseball coming up here in April. Every single pick I put out. So if you're interested in that, click that link down there. If not, there's a free plan as well. That just gets you access to all my free picks. Those are what I'm giving out here on this YouTube channel. And you also get access to the Discord to chat it up with other sports bettors on the Discord channel. But let's move into the player props now. First one I got pulled up. I'm going to go kind of fast here because I got 9 of them. Because I found 9 picks that I like. All right, there's multiple apps you can use to get these. not every app has every pick I'm about to give you. I'm doing them on Sleeper, okay? Just throwing that out there. I will do them on Sleeper because I can get all these on Sleeper. Derek Stingley, we got under 3.5 tackles here. Looking at his graph, look at these last group of games, this handful of games. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 games here. He's been under it every single game. He had 3 games earlier in the season where he went over this. I don't think he's going to go over this, just in my personal opinion. Tackles against, they're ranked 9th. The Chargers are ranked 9th, giving up 8.5 tackles to cornerbacks per game. Derek Stingley does not get involved much in the run game. I don't think he's going to get involved much in this game. They're going to keep him out enough. I know Chargers do run a lot of 12 personnel. They even run some 21 personnel, 13 personnel, where there's only one wide out. But Stingley's the guy that's going to be on that split out receiver. He's not going to be one of the guys coming down in for the tight ends. The Chargers don't have a tight end that's that threatening, where Stingley should have to bump off of the receiver to come down. He'll stay out wide, under 3.5 tackles for Derek Stingley. Now, moving into the next pick, Kalen Bullock, another defender here for the Texans. I'm going to take him under 3.5 tackles as well. Pretty clear why I'm doing it. He has not gone above this line yet in the entire game. The only reason he may go over this line is because of what I just said about Stingley that benefits Stingley. Is Bullock here is a safety, and if there's 21 personnel, 13 personnel, they're getting in tight, bunched, tied up formations. They're not putting 11 personnel where they're 3 wide or even 2 wide. If they get into those tight formations, Bullock's going to have to come down into the box a little bit to help defend the run. If something pops, he may be one of those guys making that tackle, but he has not done it this year, not even once. So I'm taking Bullock under 3.5 tackles as well. Then last pick for this game, Justin Herbert. Interceptions line, we're going to go under half an interception. He's been extremely careful with the ball, and like I said, Harbaugh likes to run the ball. Herbert's pass attempts have come down this year. He's not throwing it as much. They're not expecting him to throw 45, 50 times a game to lead them to a win. They're pounding the rock, so Herbert is kind of in a more comfortable role where they don't have to just rely on him. So he's not throwing as much, and he's only thrown 3 interceptions this entire season. He threw 1 here against Denver, 1 against Tampa Bay, and 1 against Carolina. Other than that, 0 interceptions. He's been careful with the ball. Take Herbert under half an interception. Now let's move into the Steelers versus Ravens game. We got Lamar Jackson here. Same thing, interceptions line. We're going under half an interception here. I like this one because Lamar has also been extremely careful with the ball. He's only thrown 4 picks this year. Everybody wanted to say Lamar's a running back and he can't throw the ball. Well, I got news for you. He's been a pretty damn good passer this year. He's been throwing the ball very efficiently. Only 4 picks. I'm taking him on the under as well. Under half an interception against the Steelers. Then we're going to go Jaylen Warren. His touchdown line is at half a touchdown. I'm surprised they even have a touchdown line on him because of his season so far this year. We're taking him on the under on the half a touchdown. If this does not hit, I will be so shocked. I'll come on here and I'll apologize in my next video, but he is not scoring a touchdown. He only has 1 this entire season. 1. And I'll show you here, Najee Harris, when he gets under 12 carries, the Steelers lose. When he goes over 12 carries, the Steelers have been winning. So I think Najee Harris touches the ball a lot more in this game, meaning Jaylen Warren's touches are probably going to go down, and he's not going to score a touchdown. Jaylen Warren under half a touchdown. And then for the last pick here, Najee Harris over 12.5 rushing attempts. Looking at these last 4 games, he covered it once in the last 4, but like I said, here he got 12 carries. They lost to Pittsburgh. Here he got 13. They lost to Kansas City. 9 carries. They lost to Baltimore. Here he got 7 carries. They lost to Philadelphia. Over here, where he's getting more, 16 carries. They won. 16 carries. They won. 16 carries. They did lose that game. 18 carries. They beat Baltimore. 21 carries. They beat Washington. When Najee touches the ball and they can establish the run game, they're winning football games. Mike Tomlin's not an idiot. He's going to realize that. Najee's going to get the ball. Over 12.5 carries for Najee Harris. Now let's move into this last game. Broncos versus Bills. First one, I got Jonathan Cooper over 2.5 tackles plus assisted tackles. So total tackles. Look at his graph here. All but 5 games, he's been over this line. Cooper's been very involved lately. He's had a really good season. That's why they paid him instead of Baron Browning. They traded Baron Browning, paid Jonathan Cooper because this 7th-round pick out of Ohio State has developed into a hell of a football player. He has been very involved. and the Broncos have to contain Josh Allen. That's what they're good at. Allen likes to scramble around, extend the play, do what he does with his legs. Cooper and Bonito, they're good at collapsing or closing that pocket on the outside. And then you got those interior D linemen, Zach Allen, DJ Jones. They're good at collapsing the pocket. If Josh Allen gets flushed, Cooper may have 2 sacks just in and of itself, but he also gets involved in the run game. I like Cooper to go over 2.5 tackles plus assisted tackles. Then we got Keon Coleman, under half a touchdown. He's been an absolute disappointment, exactly like I thought he would be this year. I had him as my 10th receiver in the draft last year, and he was taken in the 2nd round. I think he was taken the ninth receiver. So I had him ranked almost dead on to where he was drafted. Dude just can't run routes. He's not going to be open. I'm just going to tell you right now, he's not going to be open against the Broncos. If he scores, it's because Josh Allen extended a play and it turns into scramble rules, and Keon Coleman goes up and makes an athletic play. He's an incredible high-point receiver, but his routes are terrible, and Patrick Surtain is going to lock him up. If Surtain's on Shakir, Riley Moss will lock him up. His only shot at scoring a touchdown is if he makes some crazy acrobatic catch or high points a ball. He will not be open in the end zone unless it's scramble rules and Josh Allen flushes the pocket and extends the play. Keon Coleman, under half a touchdown here. And then the last one, I actually got to change the book here because this only can show me underdog. And this last pick's not available on underdog. But Marvin Mims, over 2.5 receptions. If you've watched any Broncos football lately, you can see that he's been over this lately quite a bit. Look at that. 6 straight games, he's been over 2.5 receptions. He's been more involved in the game. Like, look at that Cincinnati game. The dude went for 2 touchdowns. Crazy stats. So where's it at here? Cincinnati. He had 8 catches. I think he had like 130-something yards, 2 touchdowns. He had a crazy game last week against the Chiefs. Got him started off early. Got him a little quick on the right. He took it up the sideline, went and scored. And then later on in the game, another quick. He broke a tackle, cut inside, and then dove for the pylon. Mims has been involved more. He's starting to find his rhythm, starting to find who he is in the NFL and accept his role. And lately, that role has been getting him a lot of touches. He has been getting some carries on the ground as well, like coming in jet sweeps or even lined up in the backfield, taking handoffs as a running back, kind of like Deebo Samuel. But he's been getting the ball thrown his way lately quite a bit more. Looking at his receptions, targets here, we got 6 straight games where he's had at least 4 targets. So I think Marvin Mims goes over 2.5 receptions here. He's got to be involved if they want to win this game. Take him over there. I like that over. There's your picks, guys. That's all I got for you. Thank you so much for watching. Again, but before I just completely end this video, I do want to tell you, like I said earlier, I'm doing these on Sleeper. Sleeper's been one of my favorite apps all season long. If you don't have it yet, you can get $55 absolutely free when you, sorry, let me rephrase that. Not absolutely free. You can get $55 when you play $5. So basically, if you deposit $10, play $5, they'll give you $55 in playthrough money. You can't just withdraw that. That would be dumb of them to give you $55 and just let you take it. But once you play through that $55, you can withdraw any of your winnings. So $55 absolutely free. Make sure you sign up using promo code AROD. It's been down here at the bottom of the screen for the last 5 minutes or so. Use promo code AROD and the link in the description down below, and you're going to get this $55 free when you play $5. That's all I got for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit that like and subscribe button if you like this stuff. If you find any value in it at all, I'd appreciate it. Subscribe. I'm trying to grow this channel, build our sports betting army to take it to the books. It's us versus them. Let's go get them. Let's win some money this weekend. Have a good night, guys. I'll see y'all next time.